And you know, Seattle's biotech industry continues to grow, but a couple of companies here in the Seattle area are hitting some recent roadblocks. Joining me today is Puget Sound Business Journal reporter Casey Coombs to talk about really what's going on in the industry right now and what to watch out for. Casey, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. First off, I want to give our audience more of a bigger perspective on how big the biotech industry is here in Seattle. How big is it? It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, the biotech industry here is one of the mid-sized biotech industries around the country. There are a few huge centers in like Boston and down in San Diego, but Seattle is a fast-rising. We have about more than 30,000 employees here. It supports about 4 jobs for every life science job.
And that continues to grow,
yeah.
I would imagine. A story that you've been covering really talks about, I guess, the darling of Seattle's biotech industry, talking about Juno Therapeutics. And just a few years ago, you know, it seemed like they were on the verge of having a cancer cure, if you will, but they've reached some roadblocks. Talk a little bit about that. What happened there?
Yeah, so their most advanced drug trial, the one that really rocketed them out of the Fred Hutch Cancer Research Center in 2013, was an immunotherapy drug that was hopefully going to hit the market in 2017, this year, and beat its 2 major competitors, Novartis and it ran into a few roadblocks early last year when patients started to die in the trial.
How many? I think it was like 4 or
about
5?
5 total died.
Yeah.
And 3 the first time, and then the second time. So they couldn't really put their finger on exactly what was causing the deaths. So
when you have something like that happen, though, I mean, for a company like Juno Therapeutics, I mean, does that pretty much signal the end? Or for a company like Juno, does it mean that they are going to come back, regroup, maybe start the trial over again?
It's definitely not the end for them. They're kind of unique in terms of biotech companies because they have a lot of money in the bank. They have a huge global biopharmaceutical company as a partner. They just entered a $1 billion deal with them. So for them, it's going to be a setback in terms of when this drug for this particular type of cancer will hit the market. It'll be about 1 year to 2 years later. But they have some other really strong trials in the pipeline. So it's kind of shifting focus right now. I
don't know if you can answer the question, but I mean, a few years ago we talked about how they were pretty close to finding kind of like a breakthrough drug for cancer.
Yeah.
Does that set them back a little bit, or does it continue on? I mean, how close are they, would you say?
So with this particular type of cancer, it's acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
Right.
They are set back 1 to 2 years. They're going to try to develop a new drug to target this particular type of leukemia. They should launch that next year.
Okay.
But they have a range of other drugs in the pipeline that are going to target other types of leukemia and cancers that should hit the market.
Hopefully hit the market pretty soon, I would imagine. The other company we're talking about is Seattle Genetics. They just had a $2 billion deal, and this is something that you broke, a $2 billion licensing deal, another company in Delaware, but somehow this deal is on hold. What's going on there?
Yeah, so they inked this deal last month, and it was a really big win for Seattle Genetics, which is the biggest biotech company in the Seattle area. Right. To add this new cancer drug to their pipeline with the hopes of, bringing it to the market pretty soon. But the company that they inked the deal with, some activist shareholders, won some seats on the board and have tried to steer the shareholders away from the deal.
So does that mean that this deal is pretty much done, or are we just in a holding pattern right now, or what's going on?
Yeah, it's on pause for about a month. A judge ruled just last week that they're going to stop for 1 month and kind of iron out the details. Okay. So it's yet to be seen. Something definitely to watch.
All right. Thank you, Casey Coombs from Puget Sound Business Journal. You can read more about both of those cases online, bizjournals.com.